And it brings me to the next question. You had an impressive career as a lawyer, anti-corruption crusader, and human rights defender. How have these experiences shaped your time in the legislature?
Okay, that has helped me on the kinds of things I focused on. We focused on the gender bill because of the experience that I have as a lawyer. We focused on the FGM bill also for that reason. We focused on the fair and decent labor bills because of those reasons. In the profession, being a lawyer, being a progressive lawyer, if I might add, you tend to pick up those causes that people call liberal, okay? You tend to go for the marginalized, go for the underrepresented. And we have a society where women are the majority, but actually are put in a minority position. And we have to constantly, in everything we do, try to make sure that our society as a whole begin to embrace certain basic concepts. We've moved out of the Stone Ages now. You know, we are a civilized democracy. So all of our citizens, male, female, regardless of tribe, and regardless of education or stature in life, should have equal opportunity in fact, and not just in theory.
That's a fantastic way to think, and you didn't just add progressive. We've seen your progressivism in the things you've chosen to do and the kinds of bill you've chosen to pursue. And the truest test of democracy, as they say, in any country, is the extent to which the parliament can ensure that the government remains answerable to the people. How has the legislature, under, of course, your support to the speaker, been able to hold the government accountable to the people?
That's an excellent question. It is a struggle. It is a continual struggle because the executive always try to resist what they call intrusion and what we call oversight. We generally have series of legislative hearings. We bring there's even difficult times in getting ministers and head of parastatals to come to the legislature. Sometimes we go out and do visits to agencies and even to corporations and concessionaires to make sure that whatever we approve in the law or whatever we approved in the concession is being carried out. Our citizens usually complain in the case of concessions on fair labor treatment. We have to make sure those things happen. When it comes to overseeing the budgetary allocations, which the executive branch is responsible for implementation of the budget, but the budget is our tool, it's our fiscal tool. So we generally ensure that the executive expenditure is along the lines of what we have approved. Then going beyond that, you know, you have times where there has to be legislative interventions. During the COVID-19, we had to do supplemental budgets. During the rice crisis, we had to make sure that we add money in the budget for rice subsidy. You know, so these are the kind of balances we do at the legislature. Is it perfect? I think some citizens will still say, oh, you know, the legislature is a rubber stamp. But I think what the citizens don't see is before we get on the floor to take a final vote, it's probably 2 or 3 months of negotiations going on. You know, people are here, you know, other lawmakers are here, members of the executive are here. Sometimes I go over to the president and we discuss these things extensively and negotiate them. So by the time you get to the floor of the legislature, of the House, and you put up for a vote, you already know whether it's going to pass or not. You already know but that's what the public sees, and they say, the bill came today and they passed it, you know. But you know, that's part for the course.
I mean, you're very correct. Intense negotiation, lobbying, and it's give and take that happens. I remember Nigeria, for instance, during the time when the previous president Yaradua was sick and up to the point of death, God rest his soul. There was a great, I mean, the country had never witnessed anything like that, and it was up to the legislature to decide what happens afterwards. And
actually, I watched a documentary on YouTube just about 2 weeks ago on that.
And you can imagine how the legislature brought back a country from the brain. It was at the tip of boiling over.
Correct,
And
correct.
the doctrine of necessity,
Correct.
which became an instrument from the legislature, became the thing that saved the country. So I commend the work of the legislature.
that's what we
without
do.
the legislature, I mean, there's no democracy.
That's correct.
As they say.